Sixers fans, welcome in to the first Planet 765 minute recap of the 2023 NBA playoffs. Your Philadelphia 76ers were victorious in this one by a score of 121 to 101 over the Brooklyn Nets. And so, again, this is the first installment of Planet 765 minute recap. So I'm just going to recap the game that was, and we're going to look ahead to game two just a little bit. So, great game. Sixers led from start to finish, really had control. The 20-point difference that it ended up being, the Sixers pulled away at the end of this one. So they won the fourth quarter by 8. So the Nets were only trailing by 12 heading into the fourth. A lot of the second quarter and into the third quarter, the Nets kind of hung around a little bit between 7 and 12 points. They were trailing most of the way, and then the Sixers again put it away at the end of the fourth quarter. So we're just going to recap that real quick. So the first 7 3-pointers made for the 76ers were made from 7 different players on the team. Pretty remarkable stuff there. They did set a playoff franchise record with 21 made threes in this one. They shot 21 for 43 from three, nearly 50%. And that was the result of a lot of Joel Embiid double teams. So if you missed this one, the Nets were not only doubling Joel Embiid in the post, they were doubling Joel Embiid on the catch. They were doubling Joel Embiid if the pass was even heading his way. If the ball was in the air heading to Joel, they had 2 guys on him. And one thing that obviously sticks out is Joel Embiid only had 2 turnovers in this ball game. He passed really well. He only had 3 assists, but he had a lot of hockey assists. He had a lot of pass to assist that came as a direct result of his being double teamed when he had the ball in his hands. Joel finished with 26 in this one. James Harden was probably the most valuable player for the Sixers tonight. He had 23 points and 13 assists. He knocked down 7 3 balls. I believe he had 5 in the first half. He was just very, very good, very efficient. Speaking of efficient, Tobias Harris, 21 points, 9 of 14 from the field, and 3 of 3 from 3. And what can be said about PJ Tucker? I know the co-host of Planet 76, Michael, was thrilled to see the performance that PJ Tucker put on tonight. He made a couple threes. He had 7 boards that were just all crucial, 5 of which were on the offensive glass. We hit on it in the round 1 preview episode that getting on the glass was going to be huge. And PJ Tucker had 5 steals in this one. He was everywhere. He was active. And I think this game is why you bring a guy like PJ Tucker in. We brought him in for his toughness. We brought him in for some of those things that he's able to do. And he was just huge in this one. Again, going back to James Harden, personally, when I was watching this game today, you had a sense of confidence when James had the ball in his hands. Again, the Nets are trailing by 7 to 12, but James Harden continued to make play after play, continued to make the right decision. Joel Embiid got the ball around the free throw line, got double teamed. He faked a pass. He passed it out to Harden on the wing, and then Harden passed it right where Joel Embiid faked it to, where Tobias Harris for a wide open look. I think that was in the first half, but just making the right decisions. He was huge. Again, the offensive glass for the Sixers was huge. But again, the Nets hung around for a little bit, and that was largely due to the performance that Mikal Bridges had. He finished the night with 30 points, but Mikal Bridges had 23 at halftime. He went on a little personal run to end the half. Him and James Harden had quite the back and forth at the end of the first half. Sixers had 13 threes at halftime. Harden had 17 and 6 assists at the half, 67-58 for the Sixers. But then Mikal Bridges cooled off. And what I mean by cooled off is that he only shot the ball twice in the second half. So the Sixers clearly made some defensive adjustments that were able to just not free up Bridges for open looks or open drives. Again, he's a 3-level scorer, very talented. He proved that tonight. 30 points, 12 of 18 from the field, but he did not have his way in the second half, and that really changed the course of the ball game for the Sixers. Cam Johnson was pretty big for the Nets in the third quarter, keeping them in it. He was an efficient 7 for 11 from the field with 18 points. But again, the 3-point shot was really the story of this one. Sixers made 21 of those. And again, that's, you run through it. PJ Tucker had 2 threes. Tobias Harris had 3 threes. Joel Embiid hit a 3. Tyrese Maxey had 3 threes. He came on late. He started pretty good early, cooled off, was just 1 for 6 at one point. He made his last 2 shots that were both threes to finish with 13. James Harden had 7 threes. George Niang made 2 threes. Jalen McDaniels made his only attempt from 3. DeAnthony Melton made 2 threes. So the guys, not only were they getting open looks because of the defense surrounding Joel Embiid, but they were knocking down the 3 ball. Perhaps the big run of the game was at the start of the fourth quarter and then how the Sixers ended. So the Sixers end third, early fourth, had a 10-0 run to extend the lead to 17. Paul Reed had some really good minutes during that run. Nets did cut it back down to 11 with 7 to go, but the Sixers just continued to push and extend that lead back out. So the Sixers went on another 14-2 run to seal the deal, making it 117-94 with 3 minutes to go, and out came the starters. A great second half defense on Mikal Bridges. Sixers win this one 121-101. Couple notes for you, couple nuggets just as we wrap up and look ahead to game 2. So one thought I have is, and perhaps throughout the whole game, I was like, let's just put them away. And it took a while to do that, like I said, but they did eventually do that. One thing I would like to see perhaps in game 2 is to put them away earlier than they did. And again, a 10, 11-point game with 8 minutes to go is anyone's ball game almost. Like it's the NBA. Stuff can happen rather quickly. So it'd be nice if in game 2 they come out and, rather than it hanging around 7-12, it gets up to 20 in a hurry, and the Sixers can put them away. I think another point of emphasis is going to be how does Joel Embiid, how do the Sixers continue to react to these double teams that are going to be brought his way? Joel only had a couple sloppy plays, and considering how often he was double teamed, that was actually pretty good. So you like to see that, you like to keep that up, and then thirdly, and perhaps most importantly, the health of this team. Continue to be healthy, continue to get rest for some of these guys when they can get it in this first round matchup with the Nets where they are highly favored. Joel Embiid did have a scary fall. James Harden hit his head at one point too. So you just want to see these guys continue to be healthy, continue to be all right, and keep pushing on. But just an extremely efficient game, obviously from 3 and from the free throw line, 16 for 16, knocking them down as the Sixers have all year. So pretty much what you like to see. They did have a lot more second chance opportunities than the Brooklyn Nets did. They had 14 offensive rebounds to Brooklyn's 5. And again, 89 shot attempts for the Sixers to Brooklyn's 70. And the Sixers win this one by a final score of 121-101. Again, player of the game, I think, has to go to James Harden. His control of the game and his ability to knock down shots when Brooklyn would make a run and make the right plays when he needed to for his teammates. So really good. Good to see the Game 1 victory for the Sixers in this one. Game 2 will be on Monday night, again at the Wells Fargo Center, this time on TNT at 7:30, and we'll have a Planet 7-6 5-minute recap for you shortly after that game. We look forward to what else is in store for the Sixers in this playoffs. Again, Sixers lead the series 1-0 over the Brooklyn Nets. We will see you next time.